Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Awaken the World. We are live right now. It is the 19th of November in the year of oh my god, 2020, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Right here in the Awaken the World group, you are the author of your own catastrophe. Hello, good evening. Picture looks softer for some reason this evening. maybe, maybe it is. Might just be the lighting. It's hard to say. So, Louisa, because you're like only the second comment of three that I can actually see before they disappear. Hi, nice to see you too. Hugs and love to you too, and my love to each and every one of you. You know, we really are part of this whole, this one, like cells in our body. You know, we have 75 trillion some odd cells in the human body, and yet we think of ourselves as one being. So you can imagine that that creative essence, the creator, God, made up of all these parts, each and every part a holographic whole within the whole. And that's why it's easy for me to love each and every one of you. It doesn't mean I want to spend time with each and every one of you all the time. But it does mean I love you. So, what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, we're going to talk about the truth. And, you know, this can be a real sock in the gut for some people. That's kind of too bad, but it's necessary. And out of compassion, I'll sock you in the gut over that. So the truth is you are always the author of your own catastrophe. Now, I'm going to start with the good part of that because, you know, I can think of people immediately reaching into their drawers to pull out their pistols and put the gun up to their head, you know. So let's look at the good part of that. And again, if you know me, in Garhen's world, there's really no such thing as good and bad. There's just that which serves when I observe it, that it's doing what it's been created to do, and that which does not. Now, when we're talking about the fact, the truth, that you are the author of your own catastrophe, there is an amazing and magnificent gift within that. And that is that indeed you are the creator of all of it. Which means if you can create a catastrophe for yourself, imagine what you can create consciously. Now, keep in mind when we're talking about catastrophe, we're talking about our, you know, relativistic little tiny point of view in the midst of that catastrophe. So I'm going to use an illusion to help things out, to help explain the illusion. So an illusion for the illusion. So when you are born into this world as this little tiny squirming, yappy, hungry little screamer, that's like the egg hatching in the nest. That little tiny bird, you, are born on solid ground within the nest. You've materialized here on the physical plane. There you are, plop. Came out of your mother, bounced off the pavement, everything's fine. You're on the ground. That little bird stays on the ground. It stays in the nest, firmly anchored to the tree, for quite a while. Just like we stay on the ground in the process of our egoic self becoming crystallized. Who we are to be for our journey into adulthood and for the rest of our lives, and that who we are to be is always metamorphosing, always changing. But at the same time, that initial starting point is sort of what we're aiming for. It's kind of like the jumping off place for the character as the script is written. And then after you've reached a certain number of pages, the script is blank. This is the chaotic part within the order where the character that's been created gets to live out and manufacture its own script. From time to time, there'll be other pages filled in there, to be sure. So back to this little bird, you. So when your ego crystallizes and you've become the base personality that you're going to be, that's equivalent to the bird being kicked out of the nest. You're flying now. Now, one of the interesting things about being kicked out of the nest is that the flying doesn't always go so well. A lot of times that little bird will crash into the ground. Won't actually complete a successful first flight. Sometimes it'll bounce off a tree branch. Occasionally it gets eaten on its first flight because it doesn't have the skills yet to avoid the predator. This is exactly the same with our lives. We start off in adulthood with our egos fully crystallized, that base personality formed due to our childhood and our childhood experiences and what we've chosen to take from them and perceive from them. And that's all been pretty much planned. But now you become the author. You're the one who's flying out of the nest. And if you fall and hit the ground, that's on you. Now, within that, believe it or not, that is the most loving thing that life can do to you. There will come a point through which your perceptions and how you choose to react to your perceptions of life around you, the perceptions that you form about your perceptions, which is a lot to perceive. Sooner or later, you're going to fall flat on your butt. That's kind of a built-in system. Whenever you try to head the wrong way, and there really is no wrong way, but let's just say whenever you try to head in a way that is going to be difficult, life, out of a deep love for you, starts buffeting you. It starts gently trying to show you, without violating your free will, that there may be a better direction to go. One that's not so hard to scrabble through. And this occurs within every thought we think we have that opportunity. And the more we ignore the buffeting and the more we force that path, because life will allow us to do so, we have free will, the more we reap the built-in consequences of living in this dualistic universe. And those consequences aren't designed to hurt you. They're designed out of a deep love for you. Because in truth, the only time you see really clearly for the first time, in that moment of waking up for the very first time, it's usually because Shiva's taken that titanium front-loaded baseball bat and whacked you firmly across the back of the head. And there you are, lying on the ground in the middle of your catastrophe. After all the external factors have been muted, because of course you will start by blaming things outside of yourself. Well, if this person didn't do this to me or didn't say that to me, then I wouldn't have reacted this way. And if they wouldn't have forced me to do this at work because I needed my job, this wouldn't have happened and I wouldn't have lost my job. It doesn't matter what the case is, your choices. Write the book of your own catastrophes. And the very first thing is to let go of the idea that it truly is a catastrophe, because it's only a catastrophe from the point of view of the egoic self. From the point of view of your higher self, anything that knocks your ego down even for a moment so that you can see clear sky from that one-of-a-kind point of view, lying flat on your back, dazed, you're being offered the opportunity to see life as it truly is. You're being offered the opportunity to do the one thing that you came here and to do, and that is to find your way back. You're here playing a game of hide and seek with yourself, your little self and your big self. And that's what you're here doing. So own your own catastrophes. Don't you dare try to blame someone outside of yourself. Realize what you do when you do that. What you're saying is something external to you has that sort of power over you. And that's a lie. You are all powerful, and you were powerful enough to author your own apparent doom, as I've done time and time again. And yes, some of those experiences were heart-wrenching and seemed so terrible in the midst of them. But looking back now, I can only smile and look at the drama and laugh at the acting, at the behavior, at the set of the play that was going on. It is your strength that you are the author of your own catastrophes. Love that catastrophe. Why? Because you created it, and that is your power. In accepting and loving the catastrophe you created, the way out is revealed. Because you aren't looking outside of yourself, blaming other people for what's happening. It's not up to them. It was all on you. You're the one who chose to take whatever that person said personally. You're the one who chose to follow someone else's instructions ultimately. It's all about you. And those catastrophes are meant to show you that. They're meant to show you that you had enough power to doom yourself to this event. Start using that power consciously now. Why is it that we drive ourselves to this place? Because the universe always says to us, as you wish. So if you are afraid of being broke or afraid of not having enough money, and you're working and working and working, and you're always worried and always thinking about the lack of money, the universe says, as you wish. You will experience the lack of money. Now, that's a pretty coarse example. In my life, I've learned to keep it very simple. I don't wish for anything anymore. Instead, the only thing I do wish for, so I guess I do wish for one thing. Thy will be done. Whatever life chooses to bring with me, I will accept openly. And in that, I no longer author catastrophes. I author triumphs. I author victories. I author help for another. So no matter how deep in the midst of a catastrophe you may find yourself in right now, no matter how awful and dark things look around you, those things are not happening to do you harm. They are happening to belittle you. Not to laugh at you and put you down, but to reduce your ego, to pull away those false layers and offer you a new beginning yet again. That perceived darkness that you find yourself in right now is all about the light that you are. The darker it gets, the easier it is for you to see your own light. The more opportunity you have to become aware of your own light. To not beat yourself up over finding yourself in the middle of your perception of a catastrophe, but to accept full ownership and responsibility of it, and thereby regain all your power. And in loving and being grateful for that awful experience you are in the middle of right now, those dark clouds will begin to part, and your vision will become clear. And you will see that this is the very best thing that could have ever happened to you right now. That it's perfect in what it's offering you, perfect in what it's giving you. We are so afraid to live. I've noticed that human beings struggle to live, even a single day sometimes, fearlessly, fully alive, fully empowered. And yet this is who you are. There is nothing that could be happening right now to you that is not offering you an opportunity to be that powerful self that you are. You may perceive you have no help. Trust me, as soon as you realize that by empowering yourself, help is drawn to you, help will come. You are the source. You are the source of the beginning and the end of yourself. You are the source of every so-called catastrophe and every triumph. And when you see that larger point of view one day, when you see the world as I see it, you will see that those catastrophes are monumental moments in your existence, where all of creation is watching what you've created and what you choose to do with it. So the next time you have driven yourself off of the edge of a cliff, be grateful for the fall. Accept with love the creation as you hit the ground and squash yourself to the pavement. As you lie there stunned and dazed, you will see clearly, maybe for the first time. And a peace will come over to you and come over you. And you will understand that you are always the source of yourself. And that life will strip away what it needs to strip away. Why? Not to reduce you, but to give you room for more. Not more in terms of things, not more in terms of possessions, not more in terms of relationships, but making whatever you do have that much more meaningful. Allow your perceptions to shift just a little tiny bit. Look upon this supposed disaster and see the gift that life is offering you. And please remember all the time that the universe is always saying, as you wish. I would invite you to surrender to that ocean of life. Throw your paddle out. Allow life to take you where it will. It knows the very best route. The perception of suffering and difficulties we face in our lives are not to test us, not to do us harm, but instead to show us who we truly are, to offer ourselves the gift of seeing who we are when all the things we think have made us up have been torn away. Then and only then do we see our true being. And that is magnificent, as you are. That's it, that's all. Much love to you. Namaste. Have a beautiful Thursday night. I'll speak to you again very soon. And as always, if you need me, I am here.